All right, bang, today is Wednesday. It is April 16th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Before we get into today's free swim, I want to talk about Game Time. The NHL playoffs are here, and the only place to buy hard to get playoff tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets. Prices in the app actually go down the closer it gets the puck drop, and you can save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets. Plus, on April 22nd for Earth Day, when you select and purchase a super deal, Game Time will plant a tree with the proceeds. I was looking at tickets for the Blues series, Chief, because that's the closest one to Chicago. You can get into the building for as low as $57. So
dang.
That's pretty nice for a playoff game.
It is pretty nice.
If you're in the area, if you're a Blues fan, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go grab those tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Excuse me. Create account. Redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. All right, welcome in.
It's crazy to think how different it would be right now if the Hawks were in the playoffs. Like waking up this morning.
Yeah, man.
Whole different feeling.
Sure would.
The sun would automatically be out. You'd automatically be excited for something.
Yeah, those were the good old days. And even like last night, I had like a little like the nostalgia was coming. I had the windows open. It was a beautiful day. They were playing against Montreal. Montreal needed the game, so like their atmosphere was buzzing. It felt like the playoffs. I'm like, but we suck. But it did like make my my heart kind of long for those days where it's like you're grilling, the Hawks are on, you're going to the bar later. There's nothing better than playoff hockey.
Yeah, like it's shitty weather this week, a lot of rain, a lot of cloudiness, but it's like, hey, that's just makes everything brighter and better.
It wouldn't even matter.
No.
Wouldn't matter if it was a thunderstorm.
It would not matter.
You'd still be in a bar patio cheering on the Hawks.
Yep.
Are you jet lagged? You just got back from England.
No, I feel pretty good. So we left Nottingham at 5:30 in the morning to drive to London, and I intentionally did not sleep on the flight, and I just stayed awake until like 9:30. So then I woke up today at 5 on the button. So I feel good. I'm back to normal. Coming back's not hard.
Just going there?
Going there, you have to make yourself sleep on the flight because you land and it's morning, but it's like really like 3 in the morning. Like your body feels like it's 3 in the morning. So, but if you get like if I got 3 hours of sleep on the flight out, I was basically fine. Going to England's not hard.
What's the time change?
6 hours from Chicago.
And how many hours is the flight?
It was like 7.5 coming back, and then on the way there it's a little shorter, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
So I will say I'm pretty close to adding an airline to the ban list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, American Airlines.
Ooh.
What happened?
So on the way out, like long flight, you need to have like screens. You got to have your screens going. So my thing, it just said perpetually loading, and you look around the plane, it was probably 2/3 of the plane had no access to their monitor in front of their screen. So like this, so I'm like, hey, am I doing something wrong? Like, nah, there's a glitch. We just don't know. I'm like, well, can I move seats? There's no seats with one available. So you're just kind of fucked. Then the Wi-Fi went out through in the middle of the plane, or like in the middle of the flight. So then on a long transatlantic flight with no entertainment options via streaming or Wi-Fi or on the screen, that was tough. Luckily, I had a podcast downloaded and I did sleep. The way back, the Wi-Fi did not work again. My screen was working, but when you're trying to go through the menu options, you'd click on, I'm making it up, you'd click on Gladiator and Lion King would pop up. You'd click on something else and it would be like some HBO show I've never heard. So it's like all the titles were not synced with what you actually clicked on. It would be like wild. I was like, I clicked on some random movie that I thought I recognized the title. I watched like 15 minutes of it. The whole thing was in Japanese. So it was like, this is not the movie. It took me a second. I was like, is this like a weird intro?
So at least it was probably honest. There was a glitch. There was an issue.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they get points for having their plane break?
And then like, how did 50 Shades of Grey get on my screen?
Yeah. I did eventually find one that was the right title and the right content. So I watched season 1 of Entourage on the way home yesterday.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. And like, it's the first time I've done a rewatch of that in a long time. It's canceled. But the language, everything they say in that show is wild.
It's funny you say that. I was just thinking of starting the series. I've only seen a couple episodes scattered throughout.
I think people shit on it, but I like it.
Yeah, like it was probably the best at one point, but now you could look back and be like, oh, like they're douches, like that kind of thing. Does it age well?
No. I mean, like I'm still entertained by it.
Right.
Yeah, I would watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
It's a good show.
It's a big commitment though. That's why I gotta ask.
The episodes it's like old TV time. So
Yeah,
it's
like
like
25
a lot of the
right?
episodes are like 24 minutes. So you can
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. You should definitely do it.
Yeah.
It's a fun show.
What is it? HBO?
HBO, yeah.
Uh-huh.
When did it start? 2004?
That's an HBO original too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you'd enjoy it. I would.
There's like great characters in it. Like Ari Gold is an all-time character.
All-timer.
Johnny Drama is an all-time great character.
And then just a lot of famous cameos too. Right?
Yeah, they can't like even in season 1 there's some famous cameos.
All right, sold.
Yeah, get in on that. I think. Can you cancel them for that? I wonder.
What? Going back in time?
Yeah. No. Are you allowed to cancel?
An airline?
Yeah. Are you allowed to ban them? I should say. Sorry.
I want to. If it's out at the end of the day, I will always just choose the cheapest flight. But if it's close in the future, like let's say it's within $100 between them and United or Delta or some Virgin Atlantic, I will go. I'll pay $100 more for a different carrier.
Because I think it's something. I could be wrong.
They're also delayed on the runway for an hour on the way back. So like you're finally on the plane, you're through all the customs, like the security shit. You sit there, your thing's already working, your Wi-Fi is already not working. The pilot comes on and is like, we got to make sure we got to check with Boeing about something. So just sit tight because we might have to do some repairs.
Isn't the Heathrow? Isn't Heathrow like fucking a nightmare too?
That's what they say. I've never.
That's the airport in London.
Yeah, it's the major airport in London. People do say that. It's like one of the busiest airports in the world. People say it's insane. Every time I've flown there, it's been relatively painless. The only thing, the line for getting into, like, there was a big like line to get into the lines for customs, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
They almost, so my passport's beat the shit. It's been through the wash. My dog has chewed it a little bit. They were going to impound my passport in England. So
what does that mean?
I don't know, but like I went to scan it and the guy was like, that's not going to be able to scan. Like you could just tell by looking at it. So he's like, go over here and talk to this woman. And then she was asking me a bunch of questions. Like I was like smuggling drugs in or something, which I was, but sleep aids. And then she calls over a manager. The manager looks at it for a little bit. He goes away. She's asking me more questions. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Like my picture's fine. Like the actual, like where they have all the numbers, I was able to scan it for, like, they make you download this UK ETA app. Basically just, I don't know what it's for because no one ever asked me for it. It's another way to get $15 or whatever out of Americans. And then they track you. I should delete that now. And, but they were like looking at it. And then like a final boss of customs comes up and he's like, you have to get a new passport. And I'm like, fair. It's beat up a little bit. Like, but I'm like, I'm here now. And he's like, legally, we're supposed to impound your passport. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? He's like, then you can't come into the country. Well, I'm like, if you have my passport, I can't leave the country. I'm going to be like that Tom Hanks movie. I'm just stuck in an airport. And he's like, we're not going to take it this time, but like, it'll be noted. Like, you can't travel with this anymore.
So you would have to hit up the fucking embassy? What do you do?
I don't know. But it was like, it got like a little like,
testy.
Not even like I was scared. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
It's a helpless feeling.
Yeah, because then I did stop at a dispensary because I'm like, I have to be able to sleep on this flight. So I had like edibles in my bag. So like they don't really search anything. Kind of like, what are you doing here? I'm going to a soccer game. Okay, on your way. But then I'm like getting all these extra questions, and I'm like, are they gonna?
You could have got grindered.
Yeah, international incident. And if you're gonna bet money of who will cause an international incident between me and Nikki Smokes, I think the smart money would have been on smokes.
There's sleep aid, sir. You still
You
can't
almost-
bring in opium.
We got invited by the CEO of Nottingham Panthers hockey to their playoff game on the Sunday, our last day there. So we decided to go. They put us in like the owner's suite, and we had it to ourselves. And they have, like the wanker. That's like a big part of like the soccer culture, and they like do this like jerk off hand motion. So smokes was there. Every fan base has their own section in every stadium. That's like part of the deal with English sports. After every Nottingham Panthers goal, he was giving them the wank symbol until security came up and were like, we have been reports of obscene gestures coming from this box. Like they were going to kick out Nicky Smokes out of the owner's box that we were occupying for calling everybody a wanker.
You just can't bring that kid anywhere.
He wanked too much. Too many wanks.
Can't bring him anywhere. No, that is a helpless feeling. I've been at a airport where my ID just wouldn't scan for some reason. Like it put it through the machine. They're like, oh, this is not going through.
Sometimes they're real hard asses on having an expired ID.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
even the temporary expired.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, fuck it.
What is real ID, by the way? What the fuck is this?
It's got like a gold star on it.
What does it do?
You're gonna have to have it to travel.
I have been
bullshit.
hearing. I've been
did that
hearing
2
that for
years ago.
20 years
Yeah.
that they're doing real IDs.
Yeah, I'm seeing more signs in the airport.
But like, what is it?
I don't know. It's basically just a new form of a driver's license, but now it's just mandatory to have that one if you are traveling.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, and it's not like you still will need a passport and that. Like nothing changes from that process.
But you need it to travel domestically, right?
Yeah.
What if I just have a passport
No, I don't think so. Well, you would have to for people internationally.
that can't
coming
have real-
here?
But this is fucking dumb. This just feels like another grift, like just another fee.
Yeah, like will there even be an option to not get a real ID anymore? Probably not. Correct.
I think it's part of the process.
So it's just next time you renew your ID, you're automatically getting a real ID.
What is the
I
benefit
think
of
so.
a real ID?
That's the way I understand it.
Okay, it says a real ID offers the convenience of using your state-issued driver's license or ID for domestic air travel. I already
That's
do
always
that.
Yeah, right.
It's already the situation.
They have enhanced security features to help prevent fraud and identity theft. No. Veto. Get fucking Donald Trump on the phone.
I think he's the one that made this.
No, this has been going on.
Are you sure?
I mean, he's this. I remember seeing signs for real ID under Obama that it was coming.
Oh, okay.
Like and then maybe even under Bush. Like I feel like it's
Okay.
been the real ID, and then they'll be like, oh, like you have to get it by October, and then like something happens, we never do.
Maybe because I got my first one when he was still in office, I think. So that's maybe why I think that. But
It says starting May
First
27th,
time.
a real ID or another form of accepted ID
yeah, I don't know.
required. This is
I don't
fucking
understand.
dumb.
I don't understand it. All right, off the leash segment. This one was fan submitted and it's airline based too. So
Okay, perfect.
kind of works out. That's why I want to jump into this now rather than a little later in the show. But this is from a guy named Cam. He says, hey, I came across a situation last night that I think is a good question for off the leash. I was flying back from a work trip, 10:30 at night, flight back to South Carolina. Long day of meetings, travel, and the AC was broken on the plane. I was sitting in row 18 in the aisle. As the flight's about to take off, I see both seats on the right side of row 20 and the full row 21 is empty. After takeoff, the flight attendant walks by and I tap her on the shoulder to ask her if it would be okay if I sat in one of those empty rows. He said to note, I'm 6'4", 250. She looked at me like I asked her to give up her firstborn and said absolutely not. Is it on the leash or off the leash to ask to move up to an empty seat after the plane was taken off? I end up sweating through my button down with the woman in front of me doing a full recline. We get delayed in the tarmac after landing, and I don't get home till after 1:30 in the morning. Hope that flight attendant never has AC on a flight for the rest of her 10-year. Love the show. Keep up the great work. You guys keep me sane sitting in the cube.
This is one of those. I always get confused with on the leash, off the leash. The flight attendant's off the leash, but this is this guy's fault. This is, don't ask for forgiveness or don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
Oh, like you think he should just
do it.
jump in
That's
there?
if those seats are open, they're unsold. It's not like he's asking to move up to first class. Those are the same as his. Sit wherever the fuck you want. If there's nobody there, go take those seats. I've done that a million times.
However, just judging the vibe of this flight attendant by the description,
Make her. She won't even notice. Like once the flight starts, it's like people go up to go to the bathroom.
I think she might though.
then it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like
fine.
Then I guess I will, but until like I get like we're gonna turn the plane around because you switch seats and move back 2 rows to have more space. I think he should not have asked for permission.
Danny?
Yeah, did he? I think it would have been helpful to mention like his AC was broken to her. It's wild for her response to be absolutely not.
Yeah,
I feel like flight
crazy.
attendants are overly nice, and to hear that, some questions.
End of a long
Right,
day
player.
for her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what is that affecting at all?
Nothing.
To say absolutely not is almost like he asked a stupid question. But how is that stupid?
And the bigger issue I have with this is that it's not like this is going to be watched by anyone. You know, it's not
Right.
like you're scanning a boarding pass and like you're moving someone up to first class before it's even known that like a status member should get it or whatever.
Yeah.
This is like,
You're degrading your own.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're watching, like, unless if there's like, I'm sure there's a flight attendant in charge on every flight.
Yeah.
Unless
A
if she was
manager?
if she was afraid of that manager, but still that manager probably wouldn't even give a shit or know, like you said.
It's crazy. But that is like I've seen people like, oh, hey, like my husband and wife are not sitting or like they're not sitting together. Would you mind moving? People do this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
like people switch seats once it's underway all the time.
A lot of flight attendants, if it's an empty row, they'll tell people like, "Hey, you can
Yeah,
move over there."
Yeah.
right. The only thing I could think of, which probably wouldn't even impact him in this situation, would be as if you're moving up, like you're still in the same coach section, but then your bag is back there, so then you have to like fight the flow of traffic to get your bag post-flight. Which
That still don't make much sense to me.
I agree. I'm looking for any, because then that person you are not allowed to stop the flow of traffic.
Unless-
you have to wait for everybody to deplane to go back and get your bag. But
20-ish is exit row. A lot of times, I feel.
Ooh.
even don't you want someone in theory sitting in an exit row?
Sure, but maybe he missed the instructions. I don't know. That's the only thing. I feel like he would have laid out that context if that was the case.
I agree. I think he's probably fine, and this woman is the woe, but he should not have asked.
Yeah, maybe I'm just more curious than the average guy, but no follow-ups after a flight attendant tells you absolutely not. It's crazy to me.
They must have like scared the dickens out of him.
Yeah.
I almost feel like she
Plenty of people have their luggage in back, you know, or they
Yeah.
have to put it in
You just
front.
find
and
a spot.
Yeah,
space.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an issue.
But that is something they should
Especially if
take
the
into
flight's
account
not full.
more.
yeah.
yeah.
No, and dude, they want you to be more comfortable. I feel like I've seen that so many times where they're like, "Hey, we got an empty row over there. If
Yeah.
you guys don't want to sit next to each other."
Yeah, to your point about the exit row, that's maybe. But if you're him, right out the gate, you're coming with, "Hey, my AC is broken. Can I move up to one that's working?"
Yeah.
It's not even an AC issue either. It's like, hey, it's a room space issue.
Right.
Sure.
Off the leash by her.
Totally
Terrible.
off.
I hope I never
It's
come across
probably
her on a
American
flight.
Airlines if I had to guess.
I hope I never
I
come
had to
across
guess.
this flight attendant.
Any flight attendants listening, tell us why you think she would say not just no, but absolutely.
Yeah, I would actually like to know that. Now I have seen where they won't let you move up to like I know Delta has Comfort Plus,
Sure.
which
Yeah,
is like,
that makes sense.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
it's kind of like
It's still
but if
dumb
it's
to leave an empty
if
seat,
I
but-
bought the cheapest ticket
yeah.
and then it's like, wow, my AC's broke, so I got to move up to business class. Like that's like
But it's not even business class.
Comfort Plus.
Comfort
is what,
Plus is like
6 extra inches or something.
yeah, it's like say the first 8 rows are first class, like 9 through 12 is like a couple extra inches.
Yeah.
That's Comfort Plus. Like,
Yeah. To be clear, the seat he was asking for was the same price as the one he was
yeah.
in, right?
Right.
I
I
feel like he
assume
should have
that.
specified that if
Yeah.
not. But yeah, we're under the impression it is. So yeah,
Off the leash. So.
off the leash. I agree.
Brutal.
Don't want to run across this like.
But also, don't be a pussy. Just do it on your own.
Speaking of Rise and dog walkers, we could talk about this because I don't know how much we could show in anything because it's a little dicey with weed. But we went to the
With
dispensary.
in regards to YouTube.
YouTube, yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube. Like, well,
Yeah, they take you down or
they will take your firstborn.
yeah.
Yes, they will take.
I posted just on my own story, and I got a text from our social girl.
Yeah.
Like, you will get community notice.
Yeah, like
for showing a
Instagram.
picture of a plant.
Or like all meta, like
Yeah.
basically like it's only X that allows it. So,
It's a wild west.
but we're allowed to talk about it, right? Yeah, we're allowed.
Yeah,
to
of
talk about
course.
it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can definitely talk about it. Yeah.
What an experience seeing how the flower is made, quite literally.
How was it? Like,
I mean, I just have to
But-
show you the pictures to like for you to get a grasp of how ridiculous this was. I feel like as a weed guy,
Mhm.
it's safe to say you would have really appreciated it. There was a point where I thought it was one of the funniest parts of the whole trip was there was massive bags of weed,
Okay.
like massive
trash bags.
Yes.
Like a carry-on suitcase or maybe a little bit bigger.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Massive bags, like just like it's like a Harold and Kumar type weed, and
Yeah, this is like a kitchen garbage bag.
yeah, exactly. And there was at one
white
point
bag.
where like everyone was taking pictures and whatever, yada yada yada, and there was at one point where. Like not even just like as a joke, White Sox Dave's like
Cradling
hey,
a baby.
give me cradling it, and he was like had it as a baby, like, and he was like had it as a son.
Like trying to be funny or no?
I don't think
He was trying to be funny, but
Yes.
he didn't get what the reference was.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, oh, because you've seen Harold and Kumar, right? When
Yeah.
like that scene where Kumar like marries the bag of weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was so perfect. And Dave was like, I don't know, he didn't find it as funny as I did, so he was not happy with me. But it was
Shocker.
Yeah, it was.
I would love it. My problem would be like all those great smells and not being able to have any.
It was
Like it
crazy.
being in a candy shop, but you can't eat any candy.
I didn't. So I don't really love the smell of weed. At no point did I ever smell like the actual weed smell. So I don't know. Like you would smell, like you would pinch the bud and be like, oh, like that's grapefruit. Oh, that's.
So it smelled good. You were saying.
Oh
earlier.
yeah. It
I
smelled
feel like
great.
a lot of the bad weed smells comes from like bad pieces, like a bad bowl. Like when you light it up, you smell that and the combination.
like a bad like residue.
Yeah,
Like being
because that
Yeah.
shit smells.
But
Residue alone smells.
And
like
even,
ass.
but even like,
we were also smelling it at its like freshest.
yeah, it's
yeah.
purest
So
form. That's
and
what
then,
I mean.
but even in like the drying room, you could maybe get like a 3% smell. Like okay,
Smelled like tea in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really didn't smell bad. That's actually a good observation.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not like an overpowering like, oh, I got to get out of here.
No, but I could smell it on my clothes when I got home.
Yes.
Like going to like my nana used to smoke like 2 packs a day, and we would spend the summers out there. And like after the first day, you get used to it. Then you'd come home and unpack. You'd be like, whoa,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
and it was kind of that vibe where all your clothes smelled like weed.
Yeah, but it was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could smell it like from the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we first pulled up.
It was honestly, it was Willy Wonka before weed.
Because like
Yeah.
some people will even call it a skunky type smell, and that comes from like a fucking old bong hit, you know, with the water involved.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if like I love the little dog walkers, but like that has a distinct smell that I did not smell that day.
But isn't it wild how they?
But it may be just the burning of it, like it changes its.
Some people will say it's the best smell ever.
Oh, Megan
others
making money with
others
that.
compare it to a skunk, which is notoriously the worst smell.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's got that cilantro.
God,
Yeah,
Pol-
yeah,
polarization.
True, yeah.
which group do you satisfy? Or Jesus Christ.
Yeah, do you smell skunk or do you smell weed? I don't know.
Identify?
identify? Thank
Yeah.
you, Lance. I've been smoking too much weed.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool though.
I know. I'll have to make it there next time.
And it was like the whole place was just like this big ass warehouse, and it looked like we were in Lumen from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Severance. Like we're just walking around. It's like,
It was the
God.
biggest warehouse I've ever seen. It was almost 400,000 square feet.
And it was just like max security even for the employees. And the
Oh,
owners.
yes.
Oh, like
Yeah.
they would have. So they had like we went to the gummy maker area, and there was probably like 4 gummies that fell out of the hopper, and they're like, yeah, don't touch it. Like everything has to be accounted for.
Yeah.
And then Megan was like, can I go smoke in the parking lot? They're like, you can't, because
Absolutely
they
not.
have like cameras over every square inch of that, and it's for their own security, but it also gets pumped back to the state. So like the state, so it's like you can't even think about taking one little anything out of there.
Yeah, it's wild. And, like, you know, they're very generous with their product. Like, they'll
Mhm.
be
Yeah,
like, hey,
they're
what do
the
you guys
best.
need? Like, whatever. They're like, oh, like Chap's brought like a whole bag, like expecting to, you know, whatever. They're
Yeah.
like, actually, we can't give anything away.
Right.
It's like, wow, they're really, really regulating this shit, which
Good.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want,
Yeah, it just has to pass that phase first, and then it's
yeah.
here's a couple of free nuts.
Exactly. They don't want people boosting shit out the back door.
Right,
One of those
right.
big ass baggies. And they have a whole world of problem on their hands.
I also have no idea like how much weed costs. You know, like I just don't like one of those baggies. Like how much?
Oh my God, thousands.
Thousands, yeah. I mean,
Thousands?
if you think about it, like if 3.5 grams cost like $30, and how many grams is that? Like 1,800 grams or something. So like
Yeah.
that's a shit ton of money.
Thousands.
Yeah,
I also don't know like what the price of weed has changed so much from the streets to the dispo to I don't even know, like a gram was $20. Is that still the case?
No.
Right.
I'm just entranced by watching things get made.
Oh, I love watching.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like just seeing that. And then there's this Instagram account that I just started following. It's just a candy shop in Syracuse, New York. I've never been to Syracuse. I've never been to upstate New York.
But
like it's popped up in my algorithm, and like I saw like Jeff D. Lowe and a couple other people followed us. Like I'm gonna jump on this, and they just make candy, and it's mesmerizing.
Like conveyor belt stations type.
Yes, but this is like still like a mom and pop where they're still lining it up on like the conveyor belt to go through. They're not just like all.
It's not all automated.
Yeah, it's not all automated at all. Like they're brushing off like the sugar or whatever, like hand by hand and whatnot.
But that was even like that when they were filling, they had these little, was it 14-gram jars?
Yeah.
Okay. So they would take one of those big bags of weed and load it into the top of this hopper. And then around the hopper were like all these different little smaller buckets. So in an instant, the machine would be like, all right, we're going to take hopper 4, 8, and 11 out of like, I don't know, out of like 36 heads. And that is like the closest to 14 grams. And it just does it like automatically every second. So it's just like constantly like you fill it and then it disperses down and then they just get it to like the right weight every time.
Christ, what's one thing you want to see be made the most? Like maybe you don't even realize it. You want to see the one Oreo cracker squeeze the other Oreo cracker to the cream.
That's a good question. I would have said a long time ago Twizzlers, because like how do they make it like perfect? Like what's the twisting mechanism? But I think I've seen
just
that
a guy with his hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen it on Unwrapped once. And
Okay.
it was kind of mesmerizing.
Sure, it just goes through a mold, right?
I don't know. I think it's honestly like a twisting machine. Like they
like
each one. Yeah. They just all kind of
they
twist.
pull it through. Yeah.
What would be a good one?
Yeah, so are they like
Very good
making the
question.
full Snickers bar all on conveyor belt type thing? Something like that?
I feel like
Yeah,
the
I think
commercial kinda
so.
shows you at the end.
Yeah, right. Like
They got to have like a giant fucking vat for nougat. Where
like it's gonna
like
be
a
like
cement mixer of nougat.
like they squirt out the nougat. And then
Yeah.
they put like they're
And
probably
then they
drop the
then they
peanuts,
shape it, and then
caramel, and then they
Yeah.
probably chocolate coated in a conveyor.
yeah.
That's what I would
I
imagine.
wonder how much chocolate they actually waste.
I don't think they waste it. I
The
think it all gets.
recycles?
Yeah. It's like a one of those water.
Yeah,
recycling
yeah, like a water fountain.
Yeah, but it's chocolate.
yeah.
That's a very good question, though, Danny. What would I want to see it made the most?
I saw a random one last night of a lady dipping each bottle of Maker's Mark off the conveyor belt into the wax.
That'd be cool.
That's cool.
It wasn't. It was like the last step of it, or
Yeah.
if anything.
Do you have one, Chief? I feel like you'd have one.
Well, this is what I kind of used to do, is go to these different manufacturing facilities. So like I know how bottles are made. I know how things get, like cans get filled, which is like they do like hundreds a second. It's fucking crazy.
Like that's kind of the boring part too.
Oh, I think I love that.
Do you
stuff.
like it?
Yeah.
But I think like the cool part about like a liquid manufacturing point is just learning the science behind like how long they keep it in the big vat.
Yeah.
Like when they bring it out,
and
like
then,
what's
the way, the process that they go through to like clean the line to make sure there's not like like 1 ounce of the other flavor before they fill the next flavor.
Yeah.
I think it could be most interesting to see something like the Ritz Bits crackers, where you're always having a couple fuck ups in that bag. Seeing one fuck
Oh,
up,
dude, yeah.
you know,
That machine is just
because then you finally get your answers. You're like, why am I only getting like 5 straight crackers?
I used,
Good answer.
I used to love the when I used to eat Cheez-Its as a kid, where every once in a while you'd have 4 of them connected into like one major Cheez-It.
Yeah.
Like, how did this get through?
or just like waiting around to see the one peanut M&M that gets like the 2 peanuts in it by accident.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Like, how does that happen?
Exactly.
Because you would think like everything would get kind of fucked up or altered after that on the line.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to think if there's a non-food one,
I know. Like that's I'm going down like
because it's like this could be interesting, but I have no idea what goes on with it.
Yeah.
That's like too
Yeah.
advanced to you.
But I used to love those Intel processor commercials where everyone was in like the white suit and the lab coats. It's like, what do they even need those for? Like, like what's going on in there? I don't know. I'd have to think.
those are some good answers.
Nice, you got one?
Probably like a basketball. I've seen a football be made. It looks pretty cool. Never seen like a basketball. Like, how do you actually, you got leather. Like, where does that come from? Then you got to inflate it and do all that stuff. So, like, start to finish of a basketball would be good.
I also wonder.
It's a good idea.
Wonder that about like the first footballs. Like, what did they like? Now it's all rubber and leather, but like, what they didn't how'd they get the air bladder in there back in the day?
What are some other things that like Ritz Bits crackers that are like inconsistent?
That have inconsistencies.
You could even make like maybe some chips that are just, some are super big, some are small. You get a lot of crumbs and some
I was
bags
thinking
of
about
Lay's.
this with Pringles. Like, how do they do that?
That's
how
probably,
do they,
that's
how
probably
do
so
they
satisfying to watch.
manufacture that so perfectly where they almost have no breakage? And there's
They just get a couple little breaks at the bottom.
Yeah, but that's probably from shipping. You know, like it's on a truck and
for
just,
sure.
you know.
And I kind of appreciate those. It's a nice little drink at the bottom.
Yeah. But it's crazy that they're able to like stack all those so like perfectly, put them in the tube and away they go.
Yeah, like Pringles' biggest complaint over the years has been you can't reach your hand all the way down. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to drink it at a certain point.
Yeah, at some point you're drinking chips. I have one, but it's a sponsor, so I won't say it. But
I also think like the seasoning of maybe like Cool Ranch Doritos. You know how some of them are like really seasoned. They got a lot of that Cool Ranch shit on it. Some of them don't. What's the process there?
yeah, like that's a good point, Lance, is like to see like how they really blend a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and is it like they're making all the Doritos, but at a certain point the Cool Ranch takes a left turn and the nacho takes a right?
Yeah.
That's
like,
that is probably how it works. Probably a
right?
uniform chip. I used to love the stories about August Busch, who's the Budweiser guy who would get like a case sent to him like every week, and he would do like his own quality assurance, be like, no, like this one needs more hops, and it'd be like he was like a perfect tester. And then I know the founder of Monster Energy kind of does the same thing, where when they're coming up with new flavors, it's not like they send it out to like a big random group. Like they know the flavor profile that they want.
They want it to be. Exactly.
They want it to be, and then they'll be like, tweak this, tweak that.
I can't imagine.
And then they'll test market. But the original like flavor profile is just like 4 guys in a room.
Yeah, I can't like the satisfying, the gratifying feeling of making something to the point where it's like bought for hundreds of millions and then getting put in mass production. Like how much it would pain you just to see your product just be
so
slowly murdered.
So that goes back to that old beverage packaging job where we were building the factory, doing all the, building the line out, and it took forever before we actually like made the product and got it in the hands of Monster. Then it ships down to Monster. They do all their testing on it. Then you do it to another place, and you finally go to North Carolina. You watch it get filled, but then it goes into a warehouse. So like I've been working on this project, started in 2014, and I want to say I was driving I flew into Atlanta. I was going to Savannah, and long story short, my flight was all delayed. I didn't land in Atlanta until after 2 a.m. And I was driving, and I'm like, I'm dying here. I got to pull over and get some energy. And I saw our product on the shelf for the first time. And I'm like, on some random gas station, like 7-Eleven in Georgia. And I'm like, that's kind of sweet. Because it's like I knew I knew it took 3 years of like my life to get that product up there.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool.
Yeah.
But then like the point where it changes and it's not as good, that sucks. Like
I
was
saying, the part where that business failed and I got no money out of it, that part, yeah, that sucked.
Like
White Sox Dave did throw me a nice going away party for a company that was failing and I never went away.
Like I'm not saying KFC's bad at all. I like KFC, but I always think about how good the original probably was for it to take off as much as it did. Because naturally, when you have so many places, everything's going to lose a step. That goes for every chain.
Well, and that's
period.
like the big discussion with like RFK and all those people now is because I'm sure McDonald's, like, and all these places, they used to have pretty simple, delicious food, and then it's like when they're trying to shrink the cost, they just add all these different steps and chemicals and all these things. So it's like it's not made in beef tallow; it's made in all these other.
Yeah.
All this other shit.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was probably tasted fucking delicious.
Probably awesome.
Yeah.
And now there's so much anticipation of like the company knowing that their competitors are gonna copy them after. So like Coke's like, hey, let's think about doing a cherry Coke, but we have to make this is the best cherry because Pepsi's gonna come out with their cherry after this.
For sure.
That's probably that is true.
For sure.
Imagine how hard it would be just to create a new drink like any drink we've ever tried to create, we're adding existing products. Like, oh, let's mix this Pepsi with a little like I don't know, lemonade powder, but like you wouldn't be able to use that if you're starting your own drink.
Think about the seltzer market. So like that was not a thing 10 years ago. So seltzers became a thing in like 2016. Like White Claw came out with, I think they were the first like big one. And then within 3 years, every alcohol company in the world has a version of that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and they're all better. So White Claws are like, fuck, we had this whole idea.
Right,
and then-
yeah. But they get the benefit of being the first movers.
The forefathers.
Financially, yeah.
And that matters.
Thank you.
They
Thank you,
probably
White Claw,
made
for all you
billions while they were like the others were trying to play catch up with research and development and test market and names and all that kind of shit.
And then so many of them caught up and they released something and then they're like,
We fucked that
yeah,
up.
exactly.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done it, or we were
I
too late.
wonder. So I remember talking to somebody in that beverage industry about that, and there's like the difference between the seltzers and the high noons, because the high noons is real vodka, so it's typically, I think it's different state to state, but it's typically taxed at a different level, so your cost is going to be up. So that's why it's originally so many people just were doing the seltzers only because it's like a malt liquor.
Yeah.
And then when High Noon came out with High Noon, and it was like the most popular by far, everyone's like, fuck. we should have just skipped out that whole process. They're trying to save a few, like a 20 cents a can on the tax. And it's like, well, yeah, High Noon fucking crushed.
I remember getting a 4-pack of High Noon Black Cherry, like the year before it blew up. It was on the very bottom shelf. They had like 4 little slots in the cooler. It was, and I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? But it was the packaging that caught my eye.
Good packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like when it fucking exploded, it was like, holy shit.
Well, and it's crazy. Like, have you ever known anybody that works in like distribution or sales for these different beverage companies?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
There's like wars. So they will be like, oh, they have good shelf space, so I'm loading up mine. I'm going to put all theirs on the bottom shelf.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
And that's like taps at bars.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was such a grinder war to get on a tap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's limited real estate.
Yeah. Like they'll be like, hey, like we'll give you 5 free kegs if you throw so-and-so tap.
Yeah.
And then drama comes when there's a new sheriff in town, like Yingling recently.
Yeah, exactly,
some
yeah.
Chicago bars.
Mm-hmm.
Very political.
I feel like that's on like every tap right now.
Yeah.
That's like the new...
I don't know, like that just came out of nowhere. Dave's favorite Chinese beer after all these years. Penetration.
Man.
That is like, Dave's been wrong a lot. We all have.
Yeah.
We all have been wrong a lot. That may have been the most wrong Dave's ever been. Is that possible? Dave thinking that the oldest brewed beer in American history,
it's like Ben Franklin's beer.
Was a Chinese beer.
It might be now. You never know.
It was wrong, but it was the funniest.
It was
like,
so
obviously
funny.
This
Why
one
he
actually you understand why he thought it.
Exactly.
Where others you like won't even have an explanation. You're like, all right, now you're pissing me off.
Unbelievable. Hey, DraftKings Pick 6 is the best time to be a basketball fan. All the thrills and playoff drama done sitting on the sideline and ready to win some real cash. Check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 posterizes the competition, including prize picks. When you hit all your picks, you'll score higher minimum payouts on Pick 6 than flex plays on prize picks. And the best of all, you'll win even more cash if you outscore the competition. Track your picks for a shot at huge cash prizes. That's all there is to it. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick 6 and cash in your basketball knowledge. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Excuse me, not $50, just 50 credits in Pick 6 credits instantly on a $5 entry. Basketball playoffs are here. Cash in with Pick 6 from DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code DOGWALK. That's code DOGWALK for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Go check it out. It's a fun little app. What else we got? Your post-bachelor party. You feeling all right?
Yeah, I also came on or flew on American Airlines.
Did you have a really shitty experience?
Well, we didn't even have screens, but I will say
Checks out. I mean, I effectively didn't either.
My ticket said it was going to be like almost a 3-hour flight, 2 hours and 51 minutes, 2 hours flat. So I'll give American Airlines some points for that.
Where'd you go?
Austin, Texas.
Okay.
They're doing that intentionally now, though. You know that, right?
No, I hadn't.
We talked about that. They're all obviously every flight is early now. It's because they were tired of people complaining that they couldn't make their connections if they gave them the real time. So now they're building that buffer so everyone's early,
Smart.
and then it is smart.
Big buffer, almost an hour.
An
Yeah, that's a
hour,
huge
an hour
buffer.
buffer is wild.
I think that the tailwinds were in our favor or something like that.
That matters.
It feels like 20 to 30 minutes is like standard.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, fun
How many
bachelor
people
party
do you
weekend.
think are connecting per flight?
I don't know, because I don't fucking believe the people half the time either.
They're rushing off.
I think they're just rushing off to get off the plane sometimes.
Fucking assholes.
Right? You ever feel that way?
I think that has probably happened many times.
I was like to look at them. That's not a panic.
Where you
face.
going?
Yeah, that's not a
Where you
panic.
going?
Yeah. You should be more panicked,
Yeah.
fucker.
Yeah, it was like,
Be like, I got to get to Boise.
Yeah.
And it better not be like I'm going to L.A. or something like that. Like, no, you better be going to like one of these little shitbox places that doesn't have a flight for 6 more hours.
Yeah.
it was like
Nothing against Boise.
This one
Boise's
time I was in line at a Walgreens, and this guy's behind me, and he has a tall boy of like Ice House, and he goes, "Hey man, I'm in a huge rush. Like, you mind if I cut you in line?" I'm like, "Oh sure." And then he goes, and then I go, and I walk outside, and he has the beer cracked on the side of Walgreens. I'm like, "Big rush, huh?"
Oh, you say that to him?
And he said something funny. He was like, "Yeah, I was in a rush to drink."
Oh my God, that's fucked up.
Seemingly might have been homeless.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, that's the same vibe it gave me as the people who are claiming they have a connecting flight. But if you're them, you also can't be looking at you eye to eye at the baggage claim, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of like rush situations, like this isn't even like an on or off the leash. It's just like a quick hitter. But I went to Chipotle, same time walking in as someone else who was walking up. They opened the door, and instead of done like the hold it for you, they fully opened it for me, like, you know, it was a Grand Poobah or whatever. So I walk in, I go through, and I just did what I think is a normal thing. I opened it and I just like held it open for him. So he was behind me in line, and the line, like, it took forever for them to get to me. Was I wrong for not letting him get to it, cut the
you?
line? Yes, because he was there first, technically.
Wait, so what were you talking about? You opened the second door of the
I opened the
vestibule for
second
him?
door, but I did like the casual, like I just held it for him behind me.
So, with the intention of boxing them out.
No, I swear to God, there was no intention of that. It's just like it felt more natural rather than like holding the door for him like it was a girl you're on a date with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but he just did it for you, so I think like the girl part is eliminated because of that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I said, I was like, I think I was wrong. I think my etiquette was wrong there.
I wouldn't
Said that
want
to him in real time.
I said that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't be looking for any sort of conflict. I would maybe for like 6 seconds stand outside of the line, pretend like I'm looking at the menu, give him time
to like kind of
squeeze
go
in
in
there.
front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if you're him, you also have to expect that you're going to be in front of him in line now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of wait to get to the burrito bowl station. So I don't know. Regardless.
Yeah, in that situation, I am letting them. I'm almost mad they're opening the door for me.
Yeah, because
Now I'm going to be forced with having you having to cut.
yeah. It just he should have just like give me the back hold.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like keep the hand in the door.
Let's not affect the order here.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else? No. Lance, G, Dave. All right. That's it then. We could wrap this up. Thank you everybody for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.